Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcast are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I'm Brian. Jason is here and tagging.
Crazy Kevin's back.
Yeah,
Crazy
Kevin. Joe.
Crazy
Kevin is back. Fellas, I think it's pretty safe to say summer's about done. Fall is about here. Jay, I got to ask you, that this is unlike anything you've experienced in a number of years.
Yeah.
Are you feeling it yet? Are you ready?
Well, I've been sick with cold flu symptoms for like a week. So I got the sore throat. I'm coughing up mucus. I'm cold. And then I'm hot. And then I'm cold again. Maybe menopause. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, I am not ready for this East Coast winter/fall. Now, today, we record on Thursdays, was the first day that I was like, oh, I might need a hoodie until I get to work because it was a little cooler today than it's been. But I'm looking forward to it. Last winter apparently wasn't too bad, which obviously means this year we're going to get hit with like 75 feet of snow, minus 50 temps, all that stuff, just to say, fuck you for leaving the West Coast.
And Kevin, welcome back. Your big news, you've got a new phone. What or something?
Hey.
What's going on?
New phone, who dis?
Nah, he actually did. Actually had him. Yeah, that makes sense.
For a long time to write that. I was like, Laura, you got the boys' phone numbers? You got Jay's phone number? You got Brian's number? Joe's number? She's like, I have Jay's. And I'm like, good enough. Send it out. When you started the triple chat, I was like, I can finally do it.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, that's about it.
So how long, though? Tell the listeners and viewers.
4.5 years.
What?
Samsung S10.
That's insane.
Come out with, 14 or 13 variations later?
And you were the S10 was allowed to text and take pictures and video and all of that.
They had a little rotary on it.
Did it have Snake on it?
Did it have what?
Did you play Snake on that phone?
It had an abacus.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2023, Kevin.
Yeah. Have you got to dig into it a little bit, or is it just out of the box?
But the only thing I wanted it for is to have our text chain. That's it.
Okay.
That's
wow.
Well, I mean, Brian, you're acting like he's still on off a flip phone to a smartphone. So he's not that old.
It's a long time.
Did you get the flip? You got that flippy phone?
Oh, you got like the new flip.
I did.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That worked out great.
All right.
I told
you went from old flip to new flip.
Wow.
Flip, I flip, we flip. There we go.
You're flipping. Damn.
Kevin's all that flippy shit.
Flip Gordon.
Yeah, we'll just call you Flip Gordon from now on.
His phone's called the Young Bucks. It's amazing. the Samsung Young Buck. I thought 4.5 years is a hell of a long time. I've always been kind of an every other year-ish guy.
Taller. I'm not.
So that's me. Yeah. So I don't know. People have to tell me differently, but I thought 4.5 years is like an insane amount of time.
Yeah, the guy.
I think my mom is on like 4 or 5 years now on her smartphone that I got for her. So
that I can see though.
Yeah.
All due respect to your mom. If she's got what she's got, it probably is all, she doesn't need technology improvements.
Right?
Guessing.
I will relate this to wrestling. So, and then we can actually talk about wrestling. So when the guy pulled up the account, he's like, oh, how long have you had these? I'm like, quite a while. He pulls up the account. He's like, gives like the dude surprise of the Undertaker, like bringing up his eyes. Oh, hey, 5 years next year. Okay, I get it. So, no, it feels nice.
I knew it. Well, congratulations. Welcome to 2023 and phone technology. So maybe 4.5 years. So that was let's do the math here. That was like 2018 ish.
Yeah.
Me too.
Roman Pride champion.
That's amazing. So many things have changed. Oh,
I bet if Joe was here, he would have made some lame ass Roman Empire joke there, and then had to justify with, well, I'm the only one that knows what that means. And then, because he's a teacher and he's smarter than everybody, whatever.
Indeed.
Jeez.
Well, congrats on that, Kev. But yeah, I guess we can do that
wrestling
that we're here to do. Talking about the week that wasn't professional wrestling. For the first time in our lifetime, guys, even prior to Kevin's new phone, WWE is no longer under McMahon ownership. On Tuesday, the merger of WWE and the UFC became official under the name of TKO. A very kind of surreal scene. You had Vince, you had Dana White, you had Triple H, you had Bianca and Montez, Daniel Cormier, these worlds colliding at the New York Stock Exchange, officially launching the new company. So, guys, I mean, what's your level of optimism? This is a whole new ownership that we've never had before. It's always been the McMahon family. Are you optimistic for the future of WWE?
Really, though, does it matter? Because the UFC is going to run like the UFC. WWE is going to run like WWE. I don't really think it's going to be that big of a deal.
Maybe not. Yeah.
And, for me, this is that perfect case of you got chocolate in my peanut butter. You got peanut butter in my chocolate. I love the UFC and I love WWE. So this is like the world's greatest tag team for me. Right. However, with mergers and stuff like this, unfortunately, there's probably going to be some dismissals, some job, eliminations, because if you have two PR departments and two sales departments, like, why do you need those? So, unfortunately, some people will lose their jobs, and that sucks. And I don't know what that means for talent, but I'm tired of seeing the people that are like, oh, is Roman Reigns going to fight at UFC 300? No, he's not. Like, Max Holloway is not challenging Gunther for the IC title at WrestleMania. So all of those people that are, oh, I'm just going to go watch Bellator. Good luck with that, because they don't want their MMA to be associated with pro wrestling. And the same for pro wrestling. They don't want to be affiliated with MMA. I had a friend back at WrestleMania when all this stuff started happening, and he doesn't watch this show, so I can say this shit, whatever. Literally, I got a text. I'm done with this WWE and fuck this UFC shit. I'll just watch AEW. Well, good luck with that. But, stop it. Just stop it. Yeah. Everything's going to run as it's ran for the last 20 years, 30 years for the UFC, 50 years for WWE, and all is going to be fine. Now, I do think we're going to get some crossover in the sense that probably some WWE talent will be shown on camera at UFC events and vice versa. Yeah. But we're not getting...
That's pretty harmless. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I believe it was Nick Khan came out. He was on the Bill Simmons podcast this week talking about everything and their potential for super shows like Super Weekends, which is pretty amazing. But also, too, that maybe this is the perfect post-career for UFC fighters that decide to retire, that they can move on to the WWE. So, we saw Brock do it. We saw Ronda do it. I mean, who knows? Conor McGregor is a perfect fit for WWE. So, for me, it's awesome. I'm so happy that it is official, but I don't think anything's going to change.
Yeah. Kev, what's your reaction to the news?
So we knew it was coming, right? But making it official, it does make it exciting. Like, it was pretty cool seeing the photos of Dana White shaking hands with Nick Khan. It boosts Bianca, right? She was there. Huge.
Well, I mean, she hasn't been on TV in months, so she got to be somewhere.
But I mean, that just shows there's going to be a rocket pack. Like, they've got 100%. Because if not, if I was going to pick one person to visualize, a career in WWE who's a female, I probably would have put Charlotte.
Right? Yeah, don't let Joe somewhere is listening to this losing his mind.
He just turned off the podcast.
I think it's absolutely amazing that they picked Bianca. I think it's awesome that they picked Montez Ford. I think it's great. Daniel Cormier, right? He announces so many of the fights. It's great. I'm excited. I think what Jay kind of mentioned, if you're a fighter, I think Sugar Sean O'Malley, right? Current champion, say he is champion to WrestleMania and he just shows up, not to do a wrestling match, but he's a cocky looking dude. He looks like an animated character. He looks like a sports entertainer. That's going to be the fun thing where we could get those type of run-ins. We're in the crowd. We see NXT wrestlers. We see Dragon Lee. We see Tiffany Stratton. We see Wes Lee in the crowd on SmackDown or Monday Night Raw. It's going to be cool if, we see Max Holloway. Ooh, cool. We see Alexander Volkanov. Like those, you know what I mean? It's legitimacy bringing some of the names that you might not know to mainstream, to the WWE, to the people. The events like Super Weekends, that's where it's going to get very interesting because I think they would be kind of crucial for like the big four, right? But now WWE does that on Saturdays. So would they do it almost 8 to 11 and then UFC event would start at 11? Or would it'd
be a daytime. Mondays? It'd be a daytime and a nighttime. If they're going to do it all both on Saturdays, most likely I imagine it'd be SmackDown Friday, UFC Saturday, WWE Sunday, and Monday for Raw.
I'll tell you that, man. That would be pretty amazing.
Well, I mean, the big thing for me too is this eliminates double bookings. I mean, hell, last summer I went to Vegas for UFC, ended up at Money in the Bank, and then went over to UFC to catch the last two fights. I mean, this is going to end. And obviously, I think that WWE, if they kind of get into the whole schedule release at the beginning of every year, that's definitely a bonus as well. Now, we just got the announcement that the Royal Rumble is January 27th in Tampa. That's cool. So maybe it'll be a slow rollout. We obviously know when WrestleMania is going to be next year. So, I think another plus is that they're not going to double book the same night.
Yeah. Yeah, no. That's the biggest thing I would say is, just coming out of this so far is the idea of those super weekends of, in one iteration of SmackDown Friday, UFC Saturday, WWE Sunday, PLE. That's just one of the options of 3 days in the same city, 3 big events. I think that sounds like that could be a lot of fun. I did, props to Dana White because as part of the press releases and the interviews of all that, one of the heads of Endeavor was like, our goal is to make every UFC fan a WWE fan and every WWE fan a UFC fan. And Dana White was asked about that, and he was just like, that's effing ridiculous.
I think he called that guy an idiot.
He did, yeah.
I know.
Huh?
I said CEO Dana White now.
Yeah, CEO, new title. Well, Jay is the perfect example of what Endeavor would want. Of like I've gone to 1 million UFC fights and I've gone to 1 million WWE shows. You are like the test subject of like be like Jason, like companies.
I think I should be the face of the campaign.
We need to put you on some sort of board committee for like fan engagement. That would be perfect.
All right, Brian. So I'm going to stay perfectly still, and then you can Photoshop a UFC logo here and a WWE logo here. Here we go.
Welcome to the UFC WWE fan engagement press conference. Let's give the floor over to Jason. Talk about our first initiative of the day. Yeah. But listen, me and Kev are like lesser versions. We like UFC too.
Casual.
You're casuals.
Yeah, we're casual, right? So I'm sure there'll be some growth, but that was a pretty funny reveal that came out of all of this. Yeah, otherwise I just hope I hope Triple H doesn't go anywhere. You know, he's done such a great job with the product, and I know Vince is still in charge and he gives his input, and that's, you know, fine and whatever. You know, Stephanie's gone, so like I just hope that Triple H sticks around. That's my only, like, I hope he doesn't get booted in any of this merger stuff or whatever, because he's done such a good job with WWE. But otherwise, I'm pretty optimistic. Because I think it's just going to mean, you know, bigger and better things for both, but especially for WWE entering this partnership here with the UFC world. So let's talk about Monday Night Raw. We had our main event of Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez with Dirty Dom banned from ringside. Fun match. And, you know, I didn't think Rhea would lose, even though Dirty Dom wasn't around. But I did wonder how the finish would be. Like, all right, we just went in, we went in clean. Is there, you know, a schmoz, whatever? Well, she's not like most girls. Nia Jax. Nia attacks Raquel, gives Rhea the win. She then beats up Rhea. So putting up the entire division on notice. Nia, very, I'd say, polarizing performer in her first round with WWE. We took a TWP X poll, Twitter X poll on Nia's return. We just put thumbs up or thumbs down. 63% voted thumbs up, 37% thumbs down. So slightly positive about her return. But what do you guys think? I mean, like, what's your excitement level for the return of Nia Jax?
Go ahead, Kevin.
She's back.
All right.
That's not a lot of excitement.
No.
Just did there.
I do think it, and especially I'll bridge it into what we saw on Tuesday night, right? And we'll talk about NXT shortly. It brings a legitimate type monster to the women's division, because if you're not Raquel, you're not Rhea, you're shorter than everybody. Piper Niven, amazing look, very agile. She has a different look, which is super, super awesome, right? We know it's Charlotte. We know Becky. Bianca is super strong. Like, Nia doesn't look like everyone else.
She's not like most girls. I don't know if you know that or not.
But that's what makes it good. She legitimately looks like she could beat somebody up, right? She is a strong force. And the nice thing with Joe not here, this is the biggest thing. Joe won't bring too much negativity on it. But when she takes the microphone next Monday, that's going to be make or break for me, because she was always a decent in-ring talent. It was just sometimes the microphone, just like, well, I was going to say Tamina, but Tamina was bad on everything. But
hater.
If she grabs a microphone, pulls within a promo of why she wants to be back, she doesn't give a crap if you're good, doesn't give a crap if you're bad, doesn't give a crap if you're a challenger or a champion. She will destroy everybody and give a great promo. I'm all in. Right now, I would probably say I'm 75% in. I'm excited to see new faces, but I want to see what the microphone brings next Monday.
I think that's fair. Jay, what do you think?
He is what is needed. And what I mean by that is Rhea has lapped the division. She's beat everybody. So now we're going to get a fresh matchup. And, you know, Kevin, you're going to whatever's next. Fastlane?
Probably see her.
You might get Rhea, Raquel, and Nia in a meaty men slapping meat kind of fight.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
It's women's night at the meat market. Whoa.
Yes. So, like, I'm excited for that potential. That three-way
could be fun.
Could be a lot of fun. But for me, Rhea needs new people to work with. Yeah. So, you know, whether or not Tiffany Stratton gets the call up soon, we'll get into that in a minute. You know, if the rumors of Jade Cargill, you know, we can get into that. I mean, come on. There is... And I'm glad Joe's not here, because I don't need that type of negativity in my life about Nia Jax.
The haterade was strong on the text chat.
It was.
Yeah, and that's the difference between me and you guys with Joe is like, listen, I'm giving her a chance. I mean, come on. I was excited to see her. Like I said, I was like, how's this going to finish? And I didn't think Nia Jax, I had seen no leak online of her being there or anything. It was great. Yeah, my only thing, during her first run was there was a couple.
Her hole.
Did you see La Greca and Bully Ray on Busted Open?
He got Bully. So I don't really listen to Busted Open too much anymore, but I was listening this week, and he got Bully. Bully did not see her hole coming. It was awesome.
He did. Wow. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, La Greca was cracking up. I was cracking up with it. Yeah, but no, the only thing I would say, because I enjoyed her for the most part, was I know there was a couple times where she, legitimately injured the girls, and those things will happen. I just don't want anything like that to continue to happen.
But because of her, we got the man.
Yes, yeah, right. So you take that into a positive, right? So
yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's not ballet, as they say, kids, right? It's wrestling. So, I just hope nothing like that happens, but I'm fine with her back. I liked her as a face. I liked her when, what's her face? Alexa Bliss was doing like the fat shaming thing against her. Like, I thought that was a pretty cool angle for her to do that. And I liked her as a badass. So, I'm good either way. I'm optimistic. We'll see how it goes. There's always a little bit in the back of my mind of like, all right, make sure this goes okay. But yeah, I'm glad she's back. I'm glad
she's coming back as a badass.
Yes. Yeah, that was clear.
Coming back to smile. She's not coming back to be nice. She is not a face.
It's one thing to take out Raquel and just like walk away.
Yep.
But the fact that she went in and destroyed Rhea too, it's like, oh, you're all getting your asses kicked. Okay. So that I'm fine. Let's roll with it. Jay, you touched on another female performer who may be WWE bound.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill, long-time AEW, TBS champ, was it?
Yeah, she was the TBS champ that was 60-0 over like 4 years.
Yeah.
That's not very impressive. I never understood why they just didn't say undefeated.
Yeah.
60 matches in like 3 or 4 years. So it came out in the middle of the night.
Yep.
She's got a
Sapp said believed to be finishing up with AEW. His sources say
she's on Rampage tonight against Statlander. And I don't know if that's taped or live. I believe it was taped. So, originally I was not a big fan of Jade. I think that she looks great. Her mic skills are awful, and her ring work needed help. What really won me over is Jade Cargill, the person. Now, if you remember 8 months back, I had Hibachi with Jade Cargill on the Jericho Cruise.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I remember Ricky Starks being there. I forgot.
Yeah, Starks was there too. So she needs to go to NXT.
Oh,
for sure.
There it is. I wanted to hear about this.
She needs to go to NXT because, one, she needs to learn to work the WWE style and not the Fig Fed style.
There is that.
Her language will need to change because she ain't going to be saying, I'm that bitch on USA or Fox.
Instead of,
I'm that B. She's going
to cut the shit, Tony. It's going to
be. Can't say that.
Cut the stuff, Kathy Kelly.
Cut the stuff, Booker, who's just absolutely awful. But anyway, yes, she needs to go to NXT for at least a year. Let her win the breakout tournament that they announced this week on NXT. Nice. Let her show up and let her win that tournament because she gets a title shot. And I'm not even saying let her be the one to beat Becky, but I would be all right with it. But then the third thing they need to do with her, if they're going to move her fast, she needs a mouthpiece. She needs someone to talk for her.
But she's had a little bit in AEW. She was with Smart Mark Sterling. I think she was with Stokely Hathaway for like a minute.
Yeah, they got rid of the white guy, brought the black guy in, and then now she's back with the white guy. But now that, she might be gone, who knows? But I think really she needs a mouthpiece, or she needs a mouthpiece. She just needs to be the muscle.
All right, Kev, what's your thoughts on, Jade up until now and this potential move to WWE does happen?
So over the course, ring skills improved, right? They didn't stay stagnant. They didn't decline. She had to improve because they were god-awful at the beginning, right? Mike's skills, I thought, slowly improved as well. I love the interactions when you saw her with her daughter, right? In the crowd. But I can
if you're a heel,
yeah,
that was a heel. That's how they fucked up Lacey Evans.
I enjoy the kid interaction. Okay, but she can call herself the B, right? She could honestly say, "I'm that B in the WWE." Bank on it. It's gonna be.
There's something there.
But I hope not.
If she goes to NXT for a year, she needs to learn to work, right? That's the biggest thing. She needs to learn to put on those big matches that we're going to get into, Becky and Tiffany Stratton. She can't do that. She can do like a 4-minute okay match. She can't pull on that 20-minute back and forth muscular flips, the emotions in it. Right. That's the thing. I want to be compelled to watch her and feel that I'm enjoying watching her, not just here throw a punch that may or may not be a real punch because she doesn't know really what she's doing in there. That's the thing. She's very green. How old is she, Jay?
I don't know.
You don't know? But the sky's the limit.
I guess around 30, but we'll have stats and information. Do a quick looky-see here.
NXT. If it's not NXT, then I feel bad for her. Dawn
31. She's 31.
So she's good to go. She's good. Oh,
they could have 15 years of her if she gets under the Shawn Michaels learning tree.
Oh, he's probably salivating at that opportunity right now.
Do you think she'll beat Jade Cargill?
It's her real name.
I think they would go with maybe just Jade.
Jade.
One word, one name. I think, so you can brand that that way for copyright purposes, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, you guys sold me a little bit on NXT, but I don't see that. I gotta figure she's main roster bound. I want to say Ryan Satin posted this of like, this is what I would do. And it was a picture of the Suit Profits and Bobby and bringing her into that. That seems perfect in the same vein as a Judgment Day of Rhea is the theme with Priest and Balor and Dom. And you want to put Jade with the Profits and with Bobby? That's protecting her. Let her throw a guy or two around every now and again, like Rhea spearing KO during the Steel Street fight from a couple weeks back. And then, she can continue to work on her in-ring skills, while she's not on TV that way. But I'm with you guys. I mean, the one thing that she has that even from the beginning when we all thought like, it's not happening in the ring, she does have a presence.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, you look at her and she's just physically incredible. Just has an amazing look and there's a presence about her. And so, I can certainly see how WWE could maximize that and making her into something, whatever that role may be. But yeah, the NXT stuff. Woo, I mean, when I first heard that, I was like, "Oh, really? We're going from this to this?" And
well, because Tony let her do whatever she wanted. That can't happen in the main roster, and it sure is only going to happen in NXT. So let her learn the WWE style for a year.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how great she's going to be after a year at the PC and on NXT?
Yeah, I mean, she's shown improvement.
Yeah.
It's been a while since she's wrestled to begin,
That's the thing. Bingo.
Title to Statlander, so it's been a couple of months, but I definitely remember a couple of those matches that she had in the later run that I was like, oh, because mainly because she's powerful. She could curl up and do face busters or whatever. So there's a lot there to work with. And yeah, certainly, I'm not saying NXT is a bad move, but I'm just thinking with just who she has been, that you just got to bring her up to the main roster and work from there. But
okay, let me hit you with this example, and then we can move on to the amazing NXT title match. A wrestler who had great fame comes to WWE, but goes to NXT first. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
Was way better than Jade ever was.
That's fair.
But he went to NXT.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
she's not bigger than NXT. She'd be perfect for NXT.
I mean, she would come in and be the face of NXT.
She would come in there and be that bitch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can't say it there.
Oh, that B.
The B of NXT.
Bitch. Ooh, I have
credit to random Twitter person who posted the clip from AEW, and it's during the Daily's Place pandemic era, so there's like no crowd, and Jade had just finished cutting a promo, and Brandy Rhodes comes out from the other.
God!
Comes out and goes, "Who said this was open mic night, bitch?" and the guy who posted on Twitter, he puts, "Finish the story."
No. No.
Who want Brandy and Jade in WWE?
Nobody wants Brandy and Jade in WWE. Keep Brandy away from microphones. She's terrible.
That was a good line, though. But yeah, Tuesday night, big NXT. The man Becky Lynch came down to the PC to challenge the champion Tiffany Stratton, and she was trying to win the championship. She never won. And after a great match, Becky Lynch is the new NXT Women's Champion. What do you guys make of the decision to give Becky the NXT title? Was this the right call?
Well, I mean, like I texted you guys, I can't wait for Roman to be the one to dethrone Carmella for the title. Because that's what they're doing. They're bringing these main roster people in to win the NXT championships, and I don't understand why.
Dom did it. Yeah. Now Becky.
Who are the tag champs in NXT? I don't even.
The fucking D'Angelo and Steph.
Oh, that's right, the family. And then there's no women tag champs, right? I don't even remember.
They.
Oh, that's the main roster. Okay, yeah. So like, I mean, it's cool for Becky to because I think now she's done what Bayley did. She's done what Charlotte's done. She's done what Sasha did. So they're all on even footing, with obviously Becky now being the top of that, the Four Horsemen women ladder. It is what it is. I'm curious to see if this was a temporary thing or if it was just a ratings pop kind of situation, because the merger happened on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So,
did you like the match, Jay?
Oh, match was awesome. It was really good. Really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kev?
Amazing match. Probably one of the best. I'll say probably top 10 NXT matches of all time.
Wow. Okay.
It was probably, I would say, top 5 matches of Becky of all time. That Trish match a month ago was also probably a top 5 Becky match. So it felt.
Or 2 weeks ago, but whatever.
Or 2 weeks ago. It felt that Becky was doing amazing things, and she was just like stale. It felt like she was stale. Yeah. Not chasing a championship, getting wins, getting kind of cheated out of things. And then it's like back-to-back amazing matches. I'm all in on Becky. Tiffany, holy crap. I
bought stock. I bought the Tiffany Stratton stock early when she had that lights out match with Wendy Chu. That won me over.
Like, looks like $1 million. Amazing strength. Because I remember Brian, I think we were texting yesterday. Lifted Becky up on her arm and shoulder and then flipped her. Like, Becky is incredibly tiny. Becky would look strong in that match, but Tiffany was just throwing her around. I was like, wow. And her moonsault or her swanton was perfection. Like, I mean, it felt like she was going slow motion in the air. Like, I hope it's going to the main roster. I would love that. To wear a Liner somehow or Grayson Waller. There you go. Like, honestly, both of them playing off each other's like vibes. I don't know if they're dating in real life. They just seem like a couple who would be together. Like that couple that you're like, God damn, they're both like good looking guys or good looking people, right? And you're just like, damn, why can't it be like them? But fuck
You
that
know who I
wrestling match.
I heard Tiffany is dating.
2,
3, 2, 1. Ludwig Kaiser.
Oh, yeah.
Is that real?
I believe I heard that somewhere. Yes, I'll have to scrounge around the internet and see if I found that out. But yeah, you said it great, Kev. The potential that she showed in that match, that might be my favorite match of Tiffany Stratton. The power that she showed in that match was really not what I expected from her. It was really, really good. Yeah, Becky's on a hell of a run though, because not only did she have that amazing Trish Cage match, but she had that, like, what was it, like a no DQ match the week before against Zoe.
Yeah.
So like she's got a push going on that she's delivering some good stuff here. And so I want to get your guys' thoughts. Like, I think a lot of people online, whether Tiffany is being called up or they're going to, continue to feud for a while, we'll see. But I feel that there's a lot of people who think Tiffany could be that next big thing, that they feel like she's got it, and they see the potential in her. Are we all on the same page as what I'm seeing?
I'm all in.
Well, my only concern is people will start saying she's like Charlotte Flair because she has blonde hair. Because that's what will happen. Unfortunately,
the blonde hair.
What's that?
Just because of the blonde hair?
Well, I mean, that's what they did to Rhea, because she came in looking like Charlotte Flair. So who's to say that they don't do the same to her?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There are a lot of similarities. I will say that, though, because they're both incredibly strong. Tiffany's got a little bit more thickness to her, which is nice. Not to get pervy, but like Charlotte doesn't
never.
Tiffy time.
Ludwig Kaiser has entered the
My Imperium just grew a little.
Yeah, it's still early, and that's the thing. She was one of the NXT 2.0 wrestlers that came on the scene, and by all accounts, a lot of those new wrestlers that came about with that, it was like, oh, this is their like fourth ever match, and they were like on TV. So she's absolutely killed it, and yeah, I think she can be. I love the character. I love all of it, and her moonsault.
We know her character is based off of Sharpay from High School Musical.
Yes, that would make sense. Yeah. All right, and the Google the there it is.
They're Googling.
Big Kaiser are officially at Iser. Congratulations to Ludwig Kaiser. Finding himself a very, very lovely woman as his girlfriend.
He's a lucky guy.
Oh, man.
Oh, so are we. Our wives are awesome. Don't get me wrong.
What's that?
I just said, so are we. Our wives are awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we're all winning life here.
There's no tipping. But
let's shift to AEW. Bryan Danielson, he was interviewed. He stated that he promised his daughter that he would retire when she turns 7 years old. She is 6 now. So Danielson's admitted that he's at a point where, he seems to get injured after every match. So he says all signs look like this is his last year as an active wrestler. He continued on saying he'd love to be Terry Funk and, retire in air quotes and still wrestle occasionally. So it doesn't look like he's like going away per se, but again, maybe not. We're going to get him week to week after this year. So guys, let's look at AEW's future. Okay. They just lost CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Likely not to have Danielson much after, let's say, another year. MJF, who knows if he's going to head to WWE in 2024. Who do you guys see as filling like those main event spots in AEW? Or who would you like to see, or who do you think would it be? I don't know.
That has not been in the main.
Well, I mean,
because there's a lot of main eventers that they recycle.
I mean, if you want to say Mox, that's an easy, right? But like, let's look at like who could be
the future of AEW's main event scene.
It's tricky.
No, it's not. Are you kidding?
No,
it's Wheeler Yuta. It's Brody King. It's Ethan Page. It's
see all these
Swerve. It's Scorpio Sky if he ever comes back. Like, it's not a hard thing. I mean, look, even guys like Daniel Garcia, which I don't even know where he is.
Oh, he was on yesterday.
He had a little cameo.
Did a little dance.
Oh, the dance thing. I don't get that either. I don't understand why that's such a big deal. They have Jay Lethal, and I know he's not a young guy, but he should be doing main event shit. I mean, of course, for me, I'm going to say Jeff Jarrett, but, I know he's not going to be sniffing that title anytime soon. Cesaro or, Claudio.
No, exactly. Yeah.
I just named off like 5. No, and that doesn't even include the Malachi Blacks, the Brian Cages, the Hangman Page. There's a million people on that roster. But for me, the one I want to see more than anything, Brody King.
I wanted to see Brody King more.
Yes.
Period. I mean, just regularly. He's scary.
He's awesome.
Be scared watching him on TV, and I don't get to see him on TV. That's the thing. I agree with everyone you said. 100%. This is my only thing. That's one person leaving in a year's time. Tony needs to figure out how to cycle a lot of people in. That's AEW's problem.
Isn't that the point of this segment?
People wrestle one time every other month, but we can't. I just don't think he'll do it. He'll throw Mox in there again.
Yeah, I see it. I believe it.
Say the rumor with Edge. Edge is propelling in straight to the top. God, I would love to see Swerve. Personally, so good in the ring, so good on the mic. He's a bad guy. He has people saying Swerve's house. People eat everything he says out of his hand. Like, he could be that tweener guy. He's a bad guy. He's a heel. But people treat him good. Like, if Tony knew what he was doing, don't go in your little faction. Let him be by himself. And I like it how none of us said Keith Lee, by the way. I
feel like the ship is.
That ship is.
I loved him in WWE, but I just don't think it's going to happen. And Kev, that's my guy too. When we came up with this topic, that was the first name I had was Swerve. He's been on the rise last couple of months. It feels like he's getting a better spot. He's bulked up too. He was not this big 6 months, a year ago. He's clearly committed to making his body what it wants to be, which is fantastic. And yeah, I mean, it's recency bias, guilty. That promo against Hangman, where he threw that line out of like, if I had the opportunities you've had, I'd be the first black AEW champion. I mean, jaw hit the floor when he said that. Like, what? I mean, Hangman probably would have turned into a puddle, right in the middle of the ring if he could have, because that was some heavy shit. So yeah, so he's the guy that I would continue to put the rocket ship too. Because like you said too, guys, I mean, I've said all these things and we've all said all these different things about, you know, him on the mic and everything. He's damn good in the ring. Damn good. Really, really good. So he's got it all. It's just, you know, he's keep it coming. Don't let him, you know, show up on Rampage in 3 weeks to take on you know, fucking Brandon Cutler or some shit. You know, like just keep doing what you're doing. It's getting there. That maybe in a year talking about him, you know, headlining Full Gear or something like that. It's all there. He's got it all.
Hold up. So there was a new set of AEW figures, I think, announced earlier.
Wow.
And
we don't normally do toys on this podcast, so this is new.
I got an email because I go to was it Ringside Collectibles, and I got the email. I should have fucking looked at it because this segment right here could have been solved by who was going to.
Well, they just put out a Danhausen character, and I don't think he's anywhere near the title. So,
and previously, I think they put out a Hook, right? So there you go. Hook could be. Give him a shot, like he's damn talented, but Danhausen main event right there.
Hey, there you go. That's box office. We love Danhausen. He's a good. He's what AEW. You know, he fills that role and he does a great job with that.
And apparently, he's very well liked. The internet is saying so.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
And he is staying off TV because when he got signed to AEW, he was hurt, and he doesn't want to be the hurt guy on AEW again. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I think he had tore his pec, maybe like Cody.
Yeah.
Cody, and so you know that's going to take a while to get fixed. So hopefully he'll be back before the year is through. Jay, to you as we speak right now, literally is Impact 1,000 episodes of TNA Impact as it's been branded. It's a hell of an accomplishment.
Yeah, so I've been big on AEW, Jesus Christ, Impact, TNA from the Fox Sports Weekly pay-per-view days, and I love Jeff Jarrett. And you know, 1,000 episodes. You know, for as many times as we've heard, AEW, or God damn it, I'm just so used to talking to AEW. You know, because we don't talk Impact on here because they're on when we record. All the times that Impact, they're shutting down. They're gonna go away. They're going bankrupt. And with all the different iterations and all the different networks, I mean, I think it's pretty cool that they've made it to 1,000. And technically, Impact 1,000 is also going to extend to next week as well. So even though that's 1,001, it's still 1,000. But for me, like, that's where we found AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, like Jay Lethal, you know, America's Most Wanted. I mean, the Motor City Machine Guns. Like, you know, when WCW went down, TNA was the first competitor for WWE. So after 1,000 episodes, and I've been to a Slammiversary, I've been to a live event, and Kevin, I know you went to a pay-per-view, but, you know, for a place that, again, was supposed to shut down so many times, while they had the young guys, they had the stars. Sting. Christian was there for a while. You know, they had Bobby Lashley. You know, I mean, everybody has been there.
Drew McIntyre.
I mean, hell,
Cody.
Drew, LA Knight. I mean, like, so many people have been through there. And hell, you know, when Cody left WWE, he did a couple weeks, him and Brandy, you know, on TNA or Impact or Global Force or whatever it was. But for me, you know, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Jeff Jarrett, like Kurt Angle, like the legends went there too.
Mm-hmm.
So after 1,000 episodes, you know, congratulations to everybody at Impact. And I wish we talked about it more, but, you know, I'm trying to figure out where I can watch it online. Now, Impact Plus, they air it and on the free version of the app. I was also told that it shows up on their YouTube channel like the next day. So Maybe I can get into that, on the weekends. But Kevin, you went to Kurt Angle's debut, right?
Loved it. Yeah. Bound for Glory.
And like, I don't remember. It wasn't a surprise, right? Like we knew.
No, he was announced because he was actually the special ring enforcer for Jeff Jarrett versus Sting.
Okay.
Gotcha. But I saw AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Eric Young.
Yes. Team Canada.
America's Most Wanted, Jay Lethal, Motor City Machine Guns. Like, I wish I would have, I would say appreciated it more before Kurt went there, because now half of that card are household names. That's the beautiful thing where, it took me a little bit, and I'm a casual Impact, right? I'm not going to lie. Like on and off, I'd like to see what's going on. Like the Eli Drake stuff, I feel like I missed out. I feel like I missed out on that when I am watching him in NWA, especially Impact with the dummy button. Like I think I mentioned it a few weeks ago. Like absolutely amazing. Absolutely. And it's similar to the same stick that he's doing now that I absolutely love. I feel like could have been loving it for a long time. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Styles, I knew of him, the Main Event Mafia, those massive matches with Kurt and Samoa Joe. Like when we were
so good,
I'd be Googling it at that point and be like, oh, yep, they went a damn good match. Find it online. It's good. It's like the little engine that could, right? Or a phoenix, like rising from the ashes. Because there's multiple times where I feel like, oh, this isn't gonna last. There's no way. And Cardona. Right. Cardona didn't come back, but he resurrected it to something more fun, more newsworthy. Boom. Tommy Dreamer. Boom.
Did he?
Tommy Dreamer?
Cardona resurrected Impact?
No, I'll say to newsworthy comments. 100%. 100%. Wasn't she the longest Impact women's champion at one point?
Who?
Mickie James.
Yeah, Mickie James was just there. She just did a retirement angle. Yeah.
So like one of an amazing athlete going there and resurrecting her career. Right. Yeah. So that's the thing. If they go to 2000, who the hell knows? Maybe probably TKO will buy him out by then, but for that library, but we'll see. I think, was it Scott Dearmore? Is he running the show down there?
He's the president. Yeah. He's doing great things.
Go get it.
Brian, any Impact TNA stuff?
I think you guys did a pretty good job of summing it up. Yeah, I mean, 1,000 is incredible. People have a lot of affection and affinity to the WCW like Nitro days. This is 1,000's well beyond what Nitro was. Like I don't know how many there were of Nitros. 1,000 Impact TNA, whatever that you want to call it. It's well beyond that. So you have to completely applaud their longevity. And I like that, it's been a place that has been for the up and coming talent at the time. And it's been a place for veterans to go and do some things there. Like, Rhino appears, Heath Slater, as I said, it gives them a place to work and to still have exposure. I mean, I think the only time that I was like kind of down on a TNA was when they decided to go head to head with Raw, and it was the Bischoff Hogan. And
I just that one popped up on YouTube. I just watched it this week. Oh my god. It was insane. Bubba the Love Sponge and Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam and Hogan. And
So
real quick, how many episodes of Nitro were there? Do you guys want to take a guess?
Yeah. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say like 300.
I'll say 444.
Well, if we were playing the prices right, you would both lose because it was 288.
Oh, I was close though.
Oh, so just about 5 years.
Yeah. So like
5
Impact, years. Impact TNA, man, they're the real deal. I'm so glad that they're still here, and definitely got to start watching them and hopefully even talking about them because Josh Alexander is the fucking man.
Congrats! I mean that's amazing, and yeah, I want to check out these shows. I know Team 3D was reuniting, and Awesome Kong was coming back, so it sounds like they were doing some pretty.
Gail Kim.
Gail Kim, the beautiful people, everybody, yeah.
That's cool, man. That's love those returns and celebrating what they've built. Real quick, speaking of a highlight of TNA, what did we think of the MJF Steiner Math tribute promo?
It was a good tribute.
I was impressed, guys.
Very.
Dud.
Really?
No reason for it. What is it for? Why? What was the reason for doing it?
It was a compliment to Impact.
No, it wasn't.
I was 100%.
Steiner, the original Steiner promo was to Samoa Joe. So that's what he did it for.
100%.
Samoa Joe, let me bring this back to you 10 years later.
If it was like Impact's 843rd, he'd done it.
I bet you he would have.
I know.
I didn't realize it was to Joe back then. I really didn't.
Yeah.
So okay, I get why he did it, but if it was, episode 669, he would have done it then just because.
Yeah.
There's no look. The MJF Adam Cole thing for me, I'm over it. I just want one of them to turn on the other so we can just get on with real life.
What's the next pay-per-view? Is it Full Gear?
That would be Wrestle Dream, October 1st.
Yeah, Wrestle Dream in early October.
And then Full Gear in November.
Yeah. They'll have the
Full Gear is actually November 18th. It's at the Forum in LA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll have the Arthur Ashe show next week. That's where MJF takes on Samoa Joe. So we'll have hopefully some things from Dynamite next week to talk about what comes out of there. Before we do wrap up, though, we did think it would be kind of fun to take a look back because this past week on September 11th of 95, it was the very first time that Raw and Nitro went head-to-head. Nitro had premiered the week earlier, and Raw was preempted because of the dog show. So this is the first time they were on head-to-head. So I thought we'd quickly go through the cards and see, anything that we can remember, or just kind of go like, what was this all about? So I'll start with Monday Night Raw. We kick off the show, a couple of Hall of Famers, Razor Ramon and Davey Boy Smith. Let's see. We move on to, I'm sure this was a barn burner. In 2 minutes and 47 seconds, the Smoking Guns defeat the Brooklyn Brawler and Radford.
I love it. I love it.
Isaac Yankem defeats Scott Taylor in 2 minutes 15 seconds. They were moving quick on these shows.
Scotty Too Hottie.
Yeah, Scotty Too Hottie.
He later became Scotty Too Hottie.
And then your main event. So I'm guessing this was a 1 hour Raw. Shawn Michaels and Psycho Sid. So 7 minutes were shown. It was probably a longer match, maybe a commercial break here. But Shawn Michaels is your Intercontinental Champion, and he gets the win over Psycho Sid. Any other remembrances of that one, guys?
No. It was a barn burner.
Oh, it sure was. It sure was. I think it was a tape show. Actually, I know it was because Nitro comes on, and Eric Bischoff does hey, if you're thinking of changing the channel, here's what happens. And he gave out the results. Now, I don't specifically remember him doing that for this episode, but I remember watching the shows of Nitro and him doing that. And it kind of upset me because I wanted to like both shows, and I liked WCW before Nitro with Saturday Night and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, you guys don't like each other. But that's how they did it. So let's look at Nitro. We had first, let me see here, Sabu AEW legend Sabu. Right.
Sorry, go.
That's amazing. Let's see. Sabu won the match. Then we move on to Sting versus it was Mr. Wall Street, but it's now VK Street. I did not get that at the time. VK, clearly Vincent Kennedy. So Bischoff had some fun with that one. Imagine Sting wins that one. He was the U.S. champ at the time. Macho Man Savage taking on Scott Norton. Guys, I love Scott Norton. He was my like gatekeeper guy. Like if you could beat Scott Norton, you're good shit. Macho Man had a fun match with them. And then the main event, Hulk Hogan taking on Lex Luger. If you remember, Lex Luger debuted the week before, coming out the Mall of America show, and ends up being a big schmoz because the good old Dungeon of Doom caused the interference for winning that one. Any remembrances of this Nitro, guys?
It was a barn burner.
I'll say this, kind of like Jade's mic skills and in ring, it only improved, fellas.
Not all starts are rocket ships. I agree. All right, good times this week, guys. At That WrestlePod for all your social media, youtube.com/That Wrestling Podcast. Please give us a like and subscribe as we continue time to 4,000 viewers. And don't forget, or subscribers, excuse me, whatamaneuver.net for all your merchandise. We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy wrestling on That Wrestling Podcast.
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow @ThatWrestlePod on social media.